Hey guys, my name is Danish and welcome back to my channel, and today we are continuing on with the spec breakdown for a specific budget, and today is going to be the no budget limit category. So this is going from 40,000 all the way up till 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh, whatever the devices are up there. But the 1 lakh and 1.5 lakh, there's only one new device, which is the Ultra. So I'm not gonna count that into this category. So I'm gonna go from 40 to 80 or so. So without further ado, let's just get started. Before I start, I'm going to break this into two separate segments. So I'm going to go from a 40 to 50k segment and then a 60 to 80k segment, because there is not a lot of devices that are there on sale in the upper price range. So from 50 to 60 there isn't a single device. So I'm going to use that as a dividing wall between the premium normal price range category and the premium price range category. So in the 40 to 50k price range, we have the Asus ROG Phone 5 starting at 49,999, and then it has three variants, the Pro and the Ultimate, which is not really useful, but they are there as options with multiple storage tiers with 8 and 12 and even 16 and 18 gigs of RAM over there. Then we have the Vivo X60 Pro and the Vivo X70 Pro, which just launched yesterday over here. And then we have the OnePlus 9 and the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. And the S20 FE has two variants here. One is the Snapdragon and the Exynos. The Snapdragon has a 865 and the Exynos has the Exynos 990 variant. So I'm gonna take that as two different variants that you can buy, because I saw it on multiple websites like Amazon and Flipkart with both variations being sold. So I'm gonna cover both as a individual entities. So the price, all of them starting from 49,000 to 50,000. The Vivos are the only ones that are cheaper, which is starting from 46,000 for the X70 Pro. And let's start out with all the specs. All of them have UFS 3.1 storage for their storage tier, and the UFS rating, why is it important? I have made a complete video about that, you can go check out over here. But the higher the UFS number, the better the performance. And coming to processor, we have a bit of a mix, because we have the Snapdragon 888 from the Asus, the 870 and the 865 for the X60 and the S20 FE, a 888 again for the OnePlus 9, and the Dimensity 1200 for the Vivo X70 Pro from MediaTek, and the Exynos 990, which is the bottom of the barrel in terms of performance. So you already know how I'm going to mark this in terms of points. In terms of performance, the ROG with the 888 gets 3 points, the X60, the X70 Pro and the S20 FE Snapdragon variant get 2 points, and the S20 FE Exynos variant get 1 point over there. Now coming on, talking about screens, all of them have 1080p screens, none of them have 1440 here in this price range, all of them have above 120Hz refresh rate, all of them have optical image stabilization on their main sensor, but they have a few extra unnecessary cameras. So the Asus ROG Phone 5 has a 5 megapixel macro camera, so -1 point there, get it out of here, we don't want that. And the OnePlus 9 has a 2 megapixel mono camera lens as well at the rear, so that also needs to go, it does not belong here. So the cameras that I do allow that are gonna be a lot more usable, that are the main camera, the wide, the telephoto and the periscope, because the periscope does not show in any budget variants yet, hopefully. But the depth cameras, the mono cameras, the macro cameras are no use and should not be there. I detest them. Now coming on to again with the rear cameras itself, we are going to talk about the rear camera video recording, and only two phones can get 8K recording over here, the Asus ROG and the OnePlus 9. So both of them get 1 point extra over here for 8K recording, and the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE and the Vivo X70 Pro both get +1 point for having selfie 4K recording capabilities. Now this is something that the companies are starting to learn more and more about, and giving 4K in the selfie camera, because people are starting to vlog and make content, and having it, recording it on the selfie camera is a lot more viable, because they can see the preview of whatever they're recording and adjust settings on the fly. So that is something that more manufacturers should look into and get more points over here in my books. So all of these phones have more than 4000 mAh batteries, and all of them support quick charge technologies, all of them have Bluetooth 5.0 and above. So the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE has the expansion slot for the micro SD, so that is the phone that gets 1 point each bonus for that. And the Asus ROG Phone 5 claws back 1 point by giving us a 3.5mm headphone jack. Thank you. And then only one phone here does not have stereo speakers, and that is the Vivo X60 Pro. All others provide stereo speakers, so all of the others getting 1 point. It doesn't matter, I can reduce 1 point for that and not give any points to the other, but the score will look the same in the end. And two phones get plus 1 point for IP rating. So this is the OnePlus 9 and the Samsung S20 FE. Both of them have IP68 water resistance, while the other phone do not, which is a real drawback here, especially because you're not traveling in a cocooned shell all the time. You're on the bike or walking around, so the water resistance is really important and really necessary here, and it's a feature that I always look for before going and buying a phone, because for me it is a very important deal. And yeah, other than the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, which was launched last year, all the other devices are from this year, but we haven't gotten the S21 variant of the FE yet. So the S20 FE is the only one that is the placeholder right there if you're a Samsung fan and you're in this price range. So in the end, when I tally up all the points, the winner is the S20 FE Snapdragon variant with 6 points. The ROG phone and the OnePlus 9 trail in second place at 5 points, with the Exynos variant of the S20 FE, and the X70 Pro comes in third with 4 points, and the X60 gets 2 points and the last in this tier. Yeah, really disappointing with the X60, but yeah, without a lot of major issues, it did lose out on the IP68 and the selfie recording 4K and the main 8K. So in this small price segment, we get the S20 FE SD variant as the winner for the 40 to 50,000 mark. So let's just jump into the next category, that is the 60 to 80, where it's not that different actually, because we have the same brands. So we have the Mi11 Ultra with 256 gigs of storage and 12 GB RAM for 69,999. We have the Vivo X60 Pro Plus at 69,000, the Vivo X70 Pro Plus at 79,990, which was launched yesterday. The Samsung S21, the S21 Plus at 69,999 and 81,999, and we have the OnePlus 9 Pro at 64,999 and 69,999, and all of these have UFS 3.0 storage. All of them start with either 8 or 12 gigs of RAM. And let's just jump into the processor, which is right there, which is the Snapdragon 888 for the Mi11 and the OnePlus 9 Pro, Exynos 2100 for both the Samsungs, and the 870 for the Vivo X60 Pro Plus, and the 888 Plus for the X70 Pro Plus. So in the performance category, all the AAA8s get maximum points, that is 3 points here. In this category, the Exynos 2100 are not that far lagging behind and they get second place over here. Exynos is catching up to Snapdragon in terms of raw performance right now, and the final point goes to the X60 Pro for the 870. Now coming on to displays, only 3 devices here are getting a bonus point because everybody else has a 1080p screen, but 3 devices here, that is the Mi11 Ultra, X70 Pro Plus and the OnePlus 9 Pro, have a 1440p resolution display. So this is QHD display in a around 6.5 inch screen. So this is really packed up and has a high DPI. So I'm going to give all of these a +1. All of them have 120 Hz refresh rate. All of them have 8K recording, but one of them has an unnecessary sensor, which is the OnePlus 9 Pro with the 2 megapixel mono. At this price point, it's not really something that can be forgiven. So -1 point for OnePlus right over there. And then again, selfie cameras are still being lagged around because the Mi11 Ultra and the OnePlus 9 Pro do not have 4K recording on the selfie mode, and all the other 4 devices have 4K in the selfie recording. So I'm going to give them +1 point. And the Vivo X60 Pro does not have an IP rating, while all of the others have IP68. So that gets itself -1 point over there. And if I tally up, and I'm not going to count stereo speakers because all of them have stereo, the reverse wireless charging and all of those are niche applications that if you have a requirement for that, then you might have to look into a device, but it's not something that can kill a purchase if you don't have that feature in your phone. So in the end, the tally comes out with the X70 Pro surprisingly winning this category with 5 points, the 11 Ultra with 4 points in second, and the Samsungs and the OnePlus in third place with 3 points, and the X60 Pro in 4th place with just 2 points over here. Now if I have to go to the above 80,000 mark, we have only 2 phones, so the S21 Ultra and the Note 20. So if you're already looking into this price point, you're not going to go for the Note 20 because for just a little bit more, for a few more pennies, you're getting the S21 Ultra, which is the better processor, better performance, and newer device which will last you a little bit longer. So I'm not going to even talk about this category because all of them have IP rating, all of them have 1440p screens, 120 Hz, all of them can do 8K recording, main sensor, all of them can do 4K selfie. Only the Note 20 does not have an expansion slot, but the S21 Ultra has one expansion slot. How does that calculate in adding it up? So I'm not really going to talk about this in terms of devices that you can buy above 1 lakh. If you're already in that budget, you already know what device you're getting and what brand you're getting. So in the end, I'm gonna wrap it all up with the advice for this lower budget tier. So in the 40 to 50, we have the winners here with the S20 FE and then runner-ups, and then on the 60 to 80 we have the X70 Pro winning with 5 points, and with runner-ups being the Mi11 and the Samsungs and the OnePlus, and the X60 Pro not really standing up to itself. And hopefully this helps in explaining all of the Android competition that is over there. I am going to make another completely separate video on all of the iOS devices that there are currently in the lineup that are being sold, and then compare it with the, even though it's an apples to oranges comparison, but I'm going to turn into each category of price range and compare the winners of all of these previous breakdowns, and I have the playlist and all of that linked and referenced. So if you like this video, give this video a like, get subscribed to my channel and ring the bell icon to receive notifications of all of my future videos. Comment down below if I missed any smartphone that you might be looking at or considering in this price range, and I'll try to help advise you on that. And follow me on my social media channels, which also have linked in the description below for more fun content. And as always, stay home, stay safe. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.